What if I told you that getting a 1600 on the SAT was actually a lot easier than you think? Well, it is. Maybe. So think of it this way. When you're studying for a test in school, there's a bunch of confusion. You may know the basic topics that are going to be on the test, but you have no idea what that weirdo teacher is actually going to end up putting on the test. They could use some obscure detail that was like in the textbook once that nobody even looked at. Or they could have a problem type that was just so weird that you never would have even studied it. That's the reason why it's so hard even for the best students to get 100s on tests. Because there's always going to be some kind of question that messes them up some way. And for people who don't study the best, tests are just luck-based. Will you get the question you want? Who knows? But if you think about it, the SAT is basically the exact opposite of this. Sure, the exact questions that are on the test are a mystery, but you know literally every single question type that might be on the test. Why? Because there are literally hundreds of companies and businesses that make books, websites, and videos that show the exact questions that are going to be on the test, including me. You could literally make it where there's not a single question on the test that you haven't seen a version of sometime before. Well, what does this look like in practice though? What if you made a list of every single question type that you've ever messed up on in the SAT in any amount? It could be on practice tests, it could be on the actual exam. You can even do additional practice questions if you want to know what your weaknesses are. And then what if you master every single one of those question types? When I say master, I don't mean just do 5 of the questions. I mean do so many of them that you literally can't get it wrong. So many that when you see the question, it's basically muscle memory, what process you need to do to solve it. It sounds like it would never work, but if you think about it, there's basically no reason why it wouldn't work. And nobody has been able to explain to me a reason why this would not just guarantee you getting the score you want on the test. The biggest problem with it is the time commitment. This will take doing a lot of practice questions. But let me ask you this. If I told you that you had a 100% chance of getting a good score on the SAT if you just take 20 hours to study, would you do it? Sure, the number may actually be more like 30 or 40 hours, but still, it could be a 100% chance. So if you know this and you still don't go and do it, it's basically just your own fault. But it still helps to have a greater degree of accountability, which is why I'm currently doing one-on-one SAT tutoring for free in my school community. It's only going to be free for a few more weeks, so definitely get in while you still can. Good luck on the next SAT.